When Sharon began sleepwalking and screaming about a place called Silent Hill, over and over again like she was remembering something that had never happened, logic began to fail her. The night Sharon nearly walked off a cliff while still asleep was the moment Rose stopped trusting the world to make sense. If Silent Hill was real, she would find it. Christopher begged her not to go. He wanted more tests, more time to figure out what was happening to Sharon. But Rose couldn't wait. As they drove, a police officer spotted them and tried to pull them over. But the moment Rose saw the sign for Silent Hill, she pressed the accelerator. She glanced back to make sure the officer wasn't right behind them, just as a figure suddenly stepped into the road. Rose swerved instinctively. When she woke up, Sharon was gone. The town around her was buried beneath falling ash that drifted through the air like snow. Buildings stood abandoned, their windows shattered. Rusted cars sat where they had been left years ago. In the distance, she thought she saw Sharon and immediately followed, chasing the small figure down a long staircase. Then the siren sounded, loud, mechanical, and terrifying. Darkness followed it, swallowing the light as the entire town seemed to transform. Metal fences twisted up from the ground as if they had always been there. Creatures began crawling through the shadows. Rose ran, because there was nothing else she could do. When the siren finally faded, everything returned to the way it had been before. The darkness disappeared as if it had never existed. Rose wandered through the empty streets until she reached the edge of town, where nothing remained but destruction. Panic rising in her chest, she ran back to the car, deciding she would head to the school. That was when she met Sybil, a police officer who had followed her into Silent Hill. She believed Rose had done something wrong, convinced she might be a criminal. But leaving the town wasn't possible anymore. When they tried to leave, the road had been cut off. A creature suddenly attacked, spitting acid at Sybil. In the chaos, Rose seized the opportunity to run straight toward the school. Inside the building, she searched desperately for Sharon. Suddenly, she saw her daughter run past and chased after her through the halls until Sharon disappeared into a bathroom. Rose rushed inside, but what she found wasn't her daughter. Instead, there was a corpse tangled in barbed wire. Words were scrawled on the wall, directing her attention to the corpse's mouth. Carefully and nervously, Rose reached forward and retrieved what was hidden there. But before she could escape, several strange figures dressed in protective suits intercepted her. She quickly slammed the door shut and locked it. Then the siren began to wail again. The corpse suddenly crawled out of the stall, moving grotesquely, and from it poured swarms of insects that began tearing through everything in their path. Rose ran, fleeing down the corridors in blind panic. As she ran through the nightmare, she unknowingly passed the one person